Our last speakers, who will be, first of all, Maggie Ronayne from the National University of Ireland-Galway, who's also the Global Women's Strike in Ireland. Maggie.
Thank you, Nina. My wage job is I'm an academic. I teach at the National University of Ireland in Galway. And women working at my university, whether we're cleaners, administrative staff, technicians or academics, are paid less than men, promoted less, and eventually, when we retire, our pensions are lower because discrimination always ends in the pension. We suffer sexual harassment. We are treated as a problem when we get pregnant or because we have children or elderly loved ones to take care of. The story came to public attention because 2 academic women won legal cases against the university, including a woman who was discriminated against and demoted for being a mother. Some of us academics started a campaign through our trade union against discrimination and for equity in our pay and conditions. Now our campaign involves all sections of staff and students as well. Some of us decided that the crisis among the better paid, much better paid professionals would have to be an opening to expose the sexism that we knew affected all grades of staff, and also to expose all kinds of other injustices, including against men and against the students. Not everyone among the staff wanted this, and some wanted to focus mainly on academics. It was also a real job to convince the union at the national level. While the union does provide a framework within which we can organise and also resources and protection for us when we're speaking out, the hierarchy at the national level have often been unhelpful to us and bureaucratic. We are up against that obsession mentioned yesterday, which Nina just referred to again, that sexism will somehow be solved by the demand to have more women in senior positions. And this is just a lie. But we are leading our campaign, not feminist opinion or the trade union hierarchy. And we have insisted from the start that our campaign will not be confined to getting even higher salaries for a few academic women. We want everyone to go up. We want to flatten that hierarchy, starting with those on the lowest wage. The campaign has a very high public profile. We have worked to make sure that there are regular stories in the local and national press, and we have always insisted on coverage of the problems faced by all sectors of staff. And the same thing when we have lobbied politicians, when we address them in Parliament, or when we went to meet with government ministers or officials. We always take a cross-section of staff representatives with us. The issues we raise and our demands are based on concrete cases, on practical casework, and then consulting across all sectors. Some examples. The cleaners directly employed by the university make €17.50 an hour. But the university has outsourced a lot of the cleaning work to a contractor. The cleaners who work for that company, doing the same job as the others, make just €9.75 an hour. It's not a living wage, it's barely above the minimum wage. Of course, almost all of the cleaners are women, and the majority of the contract cleaners are immigrants. A number of them are women of colour. Some are doing that work from 5 or 6 till 8:30 in the morning, and then they're going on to do 2 or 3 other jobs to make ends meet. Then there's the administrative staff. Over 80% of them are women, but they are severely underpaid and overworked, more so because of austerity cutbacks. So their workload has just been added and added and added to because staff are not being replaced. A lot of the women never get promoted beyond the lowest grades of pay, especially if they are part-time. And why are they part-time? Because they want time to care for their children. We have cases of academic women demoted on their return from maternity leave, if they return. We've had a number of recent examples of pregnant women on insecure contracts threatened with redundancy or who've been made redundant. In at least one case, the job was re-advertised. Pay equity is equal pay for work of equal value. We are demanding pay equity because we want the rate for the job. We are entitled to it. We demand not to be underpaid, demoted, or dismissed just because we are women and because we are carers. Because fundamentally, what's behind all of this is a dismissal of the unwaged caring work which we women do, and particularly a dismissal of mothers. That's really why we don't get the same rate as men for the job. Women's full working week, our full working week, is not acknowledged. The caring work is viewed as getting in the way of our performance in our wage job. Yes. According to the employer, we are only productive when we work for them, not when we are caring for our loved ones. Women, the carers, are punished as underperformers in the waged workplace because we can't, and you know what, we won't, we refuse to be available 24/7 to the employer. And you know, men feel strongly about this too. Our campaign was begun by women, but it's strongly supported by our male colleagues across the grades, technicians, security staff, academics. They've also raised the pressure of impossible workloads and targets. They love their children too, and have spoken up at our meetings to demand time for their families and for caring. The senior management of the university, almost all male, look, a shower of misogynists, you know, they have opposed and attacked us at every turn, just digging themselves a deeper and deeper hole. We've won several victories so far, which I can say a bit more about to people afterwards if you want to come and chat later on. I think one thing that we have achieved is that we've really made people aware of an alternative perspective to the elitist demand of top jobs for a few women. We've shown that our perspective can win. We know that our experience is the experience of women throughout the society. And what we must do more of is to spread our campaign beyond the university walls and make sure we take direction from grassroots women and movements internationally, like everyone we've heard from at this fantastic conference. We are determined to win, but we cannot do that on our own without all of you, and we cannot do it without making the case for all mothers and carers to get paid what we are owed for our work. Thank you.